this big. So it was an interesting discussion, especially when we had a contract that needed to be signed that said that we would provide all this money. But our church has a long history of feeding the hungry. Yeah. And they really embraced this. Every member of the church did. Some of the other big mission projects the church does is every fall we work with another Christian nonprofit organization called the Society of St. Andrews. And our mission committee chairman arranges for a full tractor trailer load of potatoes, 40,000 pounds of potatoes, to be brought here so that we can distribute all those to local food pantries through the area. And it goes quite a distance. Down from Norwich, we have people coming to pick up potatoes. But what the Society of St. Andrews does is these are potatoes that aren't suitable for the commercial market. Maybe they have a little cut in them or some kind of cosmetic defect, and typically they'd end up in a landfill.
But they're perfectly edible.
Sure. Yeah.
So the Society of St. Andrews is able to redirect those potatoes, and because they get them for free, they can basically provide them at the cost of packaging and shipping. It's about 9 cents a pound for potatoes. And so all the local food pantries over here will have a good supply of potatoes, especially as we're coming up on Thanksgiving.
Just being good stewards.
Yep. And that truck is actually arriving this coming Saturday.
Wonderful.
So that will be going
exciting.
Yep.
So a very mission-minded church.
Yep.
That is awesome.
And another very similar mission is that one of the biggest wastes of food in this country is actually in the farmer's field. So just like the potatoes, sometimes the crops aren't of the quality that we want to buy in our grocery stores, but perfectly good food, or perhaps for other reasons it can't be harvested. So we do what's called gleaning, right? We go out and we gather up this produce that's either can't be harvested efficiently or is not the top quality, but we can provide that to food pantries.
That's awesome.
So two of the things that are really big are apples and squash. So those are some of the gleaning activities our church does every fall.
That's awesome. Again, we're joined by John and Nikki Hrustich from the Southern Tier Mobile Pack. So let's move now to November 3rd and 4th. A big weekend for both of you, the culmination of a lot of work. So what happens at that time? To kind of take us through that Friday, Saturday, so our listeners and viewers can get an idea.
Okay. So on Friday, Feed My Starving Children will bring in the raw materials and the actual equipment to pack the food. And we provide the volunteers. Southern Tier Mobile Pack gathers up the volunteers, and we also fundraise to pay for the food. Each person will pack about $50 worth of food in the session. There'll be about 6 sessions, 2 on Friday evening and 4 during the day on Saturday. And the first half hour is spent training, and the second hour and a half we actually pack the food. This is a bag of food right here. This is actually 6 meals.
Wow.
To you and I, this might be a side dish, but to these kids, this is actually life. I mean, this is all they might have for one day. Is a portion of this. There's rice, soy, dehydrated vegetables, and vitamins in here. These bags are put into boxes. The boxes are loaded onto pallets, and then the pallets are delivered to their final destination. And we actually find out where the food goes after the fact. They let us know where it was delivered.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Kind of brings it full circle then.
Yes, it does.
That's wonderful.
It's wherever the greatest need is.
At that time.
At that time.
At that time, wonderful. So they can be nimble enough to kind of address the needs and get the food to where the
Yep.
food really is needed. So during that Friday night and Saturday, then it's a continual motion of people then, some being trained while others are packing. Now, is it a 2-hour shift? How do you go about doing that?
It's a 2-hour shift with at least a half an hour in between to kind of regroup. So, yep, you come in and you have your half hour of training, and then you move into the actual packing. And then the next group is coming in, and then they'll be trained and moved to the actual packing. And it just keeps going like that.
So describe the packing, around a table or something, and what happens there.
Well, there's several tables put together in a U shape, and all the ingredients are lined up, and people put the ingredients into the bag, and there's someone there actually holding the bag in the funnel. Then they move it on to be weighed, and then the bags have to be sealed, and then it's put into the box. So there's about 13 people at each station.
So a good time of fellowship also.
Also, yeah,
It
lots
is.
of music. It'll
Yep,
be a fun
there'll be
time.
music, and there'll be people chanting, vitamins, veggies, soy, and rice.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So you get to know maybe some different people that you may not already know.
Right, you might meet some people from other churches
Yes,
or other
yes.
organizations in the area.
I guess if you're in the same space for an hour and a half, it's good to probably get to know them.
Yes, Yeah. yes, it
That
is.
would be wonderful.
Yeah.
So then everything is packed and boxed, and then the boxes are on the pallet and such things. How long of a period of time then are you projecting? I know it's going Friday night into Saturday. How many hours are we talking of actual packing to get to these 100,000 meals that will be on a pallet in boxes? How long of a period of time are we talking that will take us to do that?
So it's those 6 2-hour sessions.
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
total of 12 hours
12
of
hours,
time.
okay.
So if you think about that in 1 2-hour session, it will be about 18,000 meals that group of people
That
will
group
pack.
of people do. Well, that's awesome. Now, what would be the process of someone either seeing the show or listening to it on the radio? How could they get involved? Maybe their wheels are turning, their spirits, filling up with some passion to want to respond, either financially or to be hands-on. How would they go about doing that? How would they reach out and get connected?
Well, the best way to do that is through our website. And it's very simple. It's give.fmsc.org/Endwell.
Okay.
And that'll bring you there. From that website, you can donate money. And more importantly, you can sign up to volunteer. You can sign up an individual, large groups from your church, maybe a youth group, things like that, families, Boy Scout troops or packs, Cub Scout packs. And so it's through there you can both donate money and volunteer. And volunteers we need.
Yeah, we need 520 volunteers for
Okay.
the setup, the 6 sessions of packing, and then the cleanup. And as of today, we have about half that, 250 people signed up. So we need quite a few more hands
Okay.
and people to get involved.
Okay. And that website again is just
give.fmsc.org/Endwell.
Okay. Okay.
Can I add
Please,
that some other
please.
things that might help out if you're not able to donate or volunteer is to pray. Pray for this event, the success of the event. Pray that the food gets to its intended destination, and pray for the kids that are going to receive it.
You've been at this since the beginning of the year. There's been trials and tribulations and triumphs, and I'm very assured that November 3rd and 4th is going to be a wonderful success. Let me just ask kind of a deeper question here. Why? Why are you doing this? What?
I think there's a real need to feed these children. There are over 925 million people in the world that are chronically malnourished. And that results in a person dying every 10 seconds of hunger or hunger-related causes. And there's some real needs across the world. Haiti is very bad right now. People are still suffering there from Hurricane Matthew that happened a year ago. And Africa, there's countries that are in famine conditions. And in South Sudan, there's a major civil war going on that's resulted in 750,000 refugees in Uganda. So there's a real need for this food. Children are dying every day, but there's hope, right?
Yes.
And you and I can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And we are going to make a difference on November 3rd and 4th.
And so the person who just says this just built a dependence on the food, your response would be?
Well, food is the foundation. There's obviously a lot more work that needs to be done. But when you have families that are searching for their next meal all the time, children that are hungry, that can't learn in school, right? So with that foundation, we can now look to longer-term sustainability.
Yes.
And FMSC works with a lot of humanitarian organizations that do provide that longer-term sustainability. Schools, orphanages, medical care, and teaching how to become more self-sustaining.
So November 3rd and 4th at the Endwell United Methodist Church, it's going to be hopping. Lots of things happening. We've only got about 30 to 45 seconds left. Any final things that you would like to share with our viewers or listeners?
Yep, well, we hope people are called to help support this. Please visit our website, sign up to volunteer. It's only a 2-hour commitment. You can come and see what this is all about. And I guarantee you, it's the most fun that you can have in a hairnet. You'll come away with a real feeling of satisfaction that you've done something good.
Yes. Nikki,
Thank you.
anything? This has been wonderful, and I know that this has been a long faith journey for both of you, and I just want to thank you for taking that mantle and from that, I'm sure, that one meeting room to where you're going to be on November 3rd and 4th, and I just want to encourage all of us to get behind this movement that actually truly makes a hands-on difference in the lives of so many people so that we can supply them with the necessary food supplies and to make sure it goes to where it's needed. So, John and Nikki, thank you so much for joining us on this Encounter program. Friends, please respond faithfully with your gifts, with your prayers, and with your presence. And I ask God's blessings on all of you this day and all of your days.